Dynasty. It's your boy, Chill Dell, and I'm back with another video. And for today, we're gonna be talking about 8 signs that you are a simp. So if you have one of these signs or you do one of these signs, that doesn't automatically mean that you're a simp. But like if you got like 2, 3, 4, 5, the whole list, you're a simp, my boy. But we gonna work through this and let's get on with the video. The first sign of you being a simp is that you are a yes man. So if you don't know what a yes man is basically just saying yes to everything, like no matter how negatively it can impact you, basically, right? So with that explanation, now let me give you an example, right? So boom, say like this is your coworker, something like that, and you know it's your little work wife or whatever. Well, in your eyes, she's your work wife, right? You think you could like drive me back home or whatever, and you're like, yeah, sure. You take her back home. You know, for me, get upstairs safe, have a good night, whatever. Next day, same thing. Hey, you think you drive me back home? Wednesday comes around, can you drive me back home? And you're just always driving her back home. After a while, she's gonna be like, oh yeah, he's saying yes to driving me back home. He's saying yes to buying me food. He's saying yes to FaceTiming me whenever I want. And then now it's like she knows that you're gonna say yes to whatever she asks. And now you're not a good candidate to get into the, you know what I mean, get into the coaching, you know what I'm saying? Sign number 2 is being too submissive or allowing her to treat you any type of way, or basically like just being a doormat, basically, right? So like what I mean by that is like just not setting any boundaries, not saying you got to be macho man, you got to be down to fight everybody whenever anybody says anything crazy, but just, you know, like setting certain boundaries that people just don't cross, you know? For example, right? I'll give you an example. I had this one girl at my crib. We were just conversing and stuff on the couch, and as I'm talking to her, she just pulls out her phone. So she over here texting away while we're on the couch, just not paying me no type of mind. I'm like, yo, like, put your phone down. Like, you don't see me talking to you? Like, what's good with you? And she's like, oh, sorry, I wasn't realizing. And I'm like, nah, you feel me? Like, I don't mind you being on your phone, but you're not finna do that, like, while we conversing, you know what I mean? Because that's disrespectful. Like, you're not paying me no mind. I'm actually gonna do that to you. And she like, oh, yeah, you know, like, I feel type of way, whatever. Ooh. So that's basically, like, what I mean. You feel me? Like, just putting your foot down and letting it be known, like, hey, like, certain things is not gonna slide. So the third sign of you being a simp is you being overly selfless. You feel me? Like, being overly selfless with little to nothing in return as well. You sacrificing something for her that she really wouldn't do for you. You feel me? Like, so it's like, not saying it has to be transactional, but you know, like it goes both ways. You feel me? Like, if you do something nice for her, she's supposed to do something nice for you. I mean, not saying like it's obligation, but you know, like, that's how people show that they like you, is through, you know, it going back and forth in that way. I mean, you know, like in that way. For example, right, like this kind of extreme, but like say like you call out of work or something for a day just so you can see her. Like say like if y'all schedule something like, oh yeah, so like Friday 3 o'clock we gonna link up, we gonna go to the museum downtown or whatever, we finna have a good time and all that. And then you look at your schedule like, oh shoot, I work that day, damn. Instead of rescheduling the day, you'd be like, damn, I don't want to inconvenience her in any type of way, so let me like call out of work or something like that to go see her. But if it was vice versa, she's not calling out of work to see you, my boy. So do not do it for her. You will look like a clown, you will look like a simp, and you're losing out on money for a girl that's not gonna last. There's nothing wrong with doing something nice for the girl, you know what I mean? But if it's just never reciprocated, or like if you're always going out your way, bro, like you fighting an uphill battle right now, and that's just not good vibes, bro. Especially for a girl that you want, like that's not even attractive, you know what I mean? Sometimes girls would much rather a guy that don't even got time for them, for like, oh yeah, nah, I'm busy that day. The fourth sign is you are not acknowledging that you are in the friend zone. So like say for example, like you and your friends, you're having a conversation or something like that about a girl, and you're telling him like, oh yeah, you feel me, it's just fine, little joint, you know what I mean? Like they're going for a hug, for a little 2-arm hug. She gave me a 1-arm hug, and she like kind of leaned her head back a little bit on some, trying to keep her distance as much as possible. And then he's like, it don't look like she like you like that, my boy. Like the same type of affection that you are giving to her, she's not giving back to you. You feel me? And that's not somewhere that you want to be either. Like, the first step to getting better and pushing through something is acknowledging the fact that that is what's going on. You feel me? Like, how are you supposed to get out the friend zone if you don't know that you're in the friend zone, or you're trying to fight the fact that you're actually in the friend zone? And I actually have a video on getting out of the friend zone. I'll put it in the description, or I'll put it at the end of the video or something like that. So the fifth sign that you are a simp is if you're acting like a friend to get into her bed. For me, so what you don't want to do is not act like a friend, bro. Do not be the friend. Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, like having women friends or whatever, but if that's somebody that you intend to get intimate with and you want to get in her bed, that's not good, my boy. Trust me, it's not good. Like, it's gonna be an extra hurdle for you to like climb over, and you're like putting yourself there on purpose because you think that later on down the line she'll let you crush. Like, and she's not letting you do nothing in that type of way. She already sees you as a friend, and at that point it's gonna be weird for her to do anything sexually with you, especially like if she's already gaining everything from you. Like, you're already driving her home from work, you're already buying her food, you're already sending her money when she needs, you're already picking up the phone every time she calls or something like that, and she just needs a shoulder to cry on, and you're always that guy. Like, why would she then give you any coochie after you just doing all of that? Not saying every girl is like that, or saying every situation is like that, but it do be like that for majority of the time. Like, once you're a friend, it's hard to get out of there, and that's an extra hurdle for you to climb over. So it's better to be direct with it, like on some, like, once y'all get comfortable or whatever and you get to know each other, you know, then you could bring like, oh yeah, you feel me, like I fuck with you and shit or whatever, and you know, and you spit your little game, you know what I mean, like you spit your game, you feel me, you rizz her up, but you don't be too friendly, because once you're too friendly, like I said before, you get put in that box, and now you're in there, you're in the friendship gulag with the rest of them, and there's a lot of dudes in there. So don't be that guy. So the sixth sign that you are a simp is if you are trying to buy their love. You feel me? Buying their love has many different ways and faces to it. Like, buying her love, paying for her OnlyFans. What are you doing? Like, you could literally go on Google and search up insert word here, and you're seeing it. Like, so why are you paying for hers? Like, once you see one, you see them all. Not them all, but for the most part, it's not like it looks anything drastically different. You feel me? Like, so don't be paying for no OnlyFans. You're buying her clothes and bags and shoes. Granted, you feel me, like if you got money like that and you can afford that, then bet. You feel me? You could do that and you're getting something in return. Then it's not necessarily buying their love, because you just, you know, it's like a back and forth thing. It's a two-way street. But if you're just always doing stuff like that, it definitely makes you look bad, because now in her phone you're just food man, like you're just the money man, you're just the guy that got the whip. You don't even have a name in her phone. Like, she's not rocking with you like that. She's just using you for what she wants to use you for. So number 7, sign 7 of you being a simp is being a captain save a woman. Captain be isn't save a thought. Captain save a tree, captain save a leg. Like J. Cole said it best. She don't wanna be saved, don't save her. She don't wanna be saved. That's not what you want to do, bro. Because at the end of the day, she's gonna do what she wants to do to be happy, and what makes her happy, what makes her comfortable, and what gives her the most excitement. Whether that be talking to multiple dudes at the same time, and a bunch of dudes taking her out on dates, and then you're trying to like save her from that, like you're trying to wife her up. Like, that's not what you want to do, bro. Let her be in the streets, let her go to Miami and get treached out, and you're definitely going to be taken for granted. While every other guy is having their way with her, while every other guy is having their fun with her, you're going to be the one to like wife her up, and it's going to make you look crazy. Nobody's going to really respect you in that. Well, not nobody, but you're just going to be looked frowned upon. Like, and that also ties into like defending women in a way as well. Like, not saying like you can't stick up for women in most cases, but like trying to defend actions that clearly point to one thing. So say, for example, right, you and the guys, y'all talking or whatever, and then you telling your man's like, oh yeah, you feel me? Yeah, I got this old girl, whatever, you feel me? She down in Miami or whatever, and you want her story. Dudes pouring liquor in her mouth. She's twerking on mad dudes in the club. She's on like 8 different yachts in the span of like a week or whatever. She's in different mansion parties. She's with all these different guys that got mad money. And then they're like, nah, bro, she's really like a treat for real. Like, you should really drop that. And you like, nah, bro, like every girl does it, bro. It's okay. You feel me? Like, let her live her life. Like, nah, bro, it's okay, bro. She's a hoe. It's okay for you to like her. I mean, but don't try to take it serious. You can, but I don't know, teach his own. I'm just putting this list out because there are a lot of dudes that really don't know what it is to be a simp. The 8th tip or the 8th sign of you being a simp is that you are always initiating communication. You're always texting her first. You're always calling her first. You're always trying to link up, and she's not trying to so much do that with you. You're texting her every day and she's not really replying, or she's replying mad dry, or you're always calling her, she's not picking up, or she's just declining your joint. Or if you're trying to link up or whatever, you're trying to go somewhere and she just doesn't really want to go with you, but she's never initiating it with you back. She's never calling you, she's never texting you or something like that. She's never coming up with different ideas to go out and link together or whatever. If she's not showing that same interest back, then it's just a one-sided thing. And that's really like the main thing about being a simp, is like having everything be one-sided. There are a lot of guys out in the world that are okay with it being one-sided. Some dudes prefer that, to where they like to do the chasing. They like to be the ones to actually bag her and try to raise her up and try to do this and do that. But if it's just not reciprocated, it just looks bad. Again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to talk to her and getting to know her, or her getting to know you, and y'all just, y'all vibing or whatever. But when it's just one-sided all the time, bro, it's not a good look, bro. Especially if she's being dry. Like, hey, how you doing? Good. Oh, for real? That's crazy. Oh, okay. What's your favorite movie? Don't have one.
Alrighty then.
Like, damn, she being dry, and then it's just every day the same thing. Now for the overview, I'm just gonna list out all of the signs that I listed in the video. So 1 is being a yes man, 2 being too submissive and allowing her to treat you any type of way, being a doormat, Number 3, being overly selfless to her with nothing to little in return. 4, not accepting or acknowledging that you're in the friend zone. 5, acting like the friend to get into her bed. 6, buying her love. 7, always defending her whole actions / being a Captain Save-A-Ho. Or 8, always initiating communication. So like I said before, there's nothing wrong with, like, if you do 1 or 2 of these things, you feel me, doesn't automatically make you a simp. But if you're doing like a few of these things on top of other ones that I didn't list in this video, you are a simp. But don't worry, because my next video, it will be about how to not be a simp, or like a different way to go about these simp ways to where it doesn't make you look bad or make you look like, the friend that you don't want to take serious like that. You feel me? Stay tuned for the next video, and we out of here.